Let's look now at how to determine the specific gravity of a liquid. So the first thing you're going to need is one of these portable refractometers. You can go ahead and open it up and pull out the refractometer. So when you're using the refractometer, we've got this plastic piece here. You want to pull it up and make sure that this is clean. If it isn't, you can grab a Kim wipe and just rub it on the blue surface here a couple of times and also on the top. You want to make sure that you only use the Kim wipes because they are non-scratch, and so they'll keep it so that this does not get damaged. All right, I'm going to put the cap back on and I'm just going to set this down so I can get it ready to use. I'm going to take a small beaker from my drawer, so in this case this is just a 50 milliliter beaker, and I'm going to pour a very small amount of liquid into my beaker. Make sure that your beaker is, of course, clean and dry. I only need 3 drops, so I just want to make sure that it is a very small amount of liquid that I pour in. All right, next I want to get one of the pipettes from my drawer. So these are what they look like. You want to push it to before you put it into the liquid and then just suck up a little bit of liquid. So I've got some liquid now in my pipette. So I'm going to do a little bit more here. Then I'm going to open up the top and I just want to put 3 drops onto the blue surface. I don't want to touch the tip of my pipette to the blue surface. I'm just going to hover it on top. I'm going to put 3 drops, one on the top, one in the middle, and one on the bottom. So that's all I need of my liquid. I'm going to put the case over the top, and that liquid should cover the entire surface and make a film on the surface. Now we're ready to get the specific gravity. So we would look through the eyepiece. Now, in lab, we can't take our goggles off, but if you want to try to look through with your goggles on, you can. I actually think it's easier if you take your camera on your phone and you stick that camera up to the surface and you can kind of see through, and I like it because you can move it around until you get a pretty good image, and then once you have a good image you can take it on your phone. So I'm just going to show you what that image would look like because I've got an example one here. So this picture I took with my phone, and you want to make sure that you're reading this cat line here. Now, when you're looking at each of these lines, this line is 1.000. This next major one here is 1.010. So each line is going to read to the point 001, which means we need to estimate this to 4 decimal places. And this is why I love using the camera, is because you can zoom in really closely to be able to estimate. So as I'm looking at this, I can see that this is 1.000, 1.001, this is 1.005, 1.006, 1.007, and then it's somewhere between 1.007 and 1.008. So it might be 1.007, I think it's closer to 8, so maybe 1.0079, for example, or 1.0078. So make sure you're reading it to 4 decimal places, so estimating that 4th decimal place. All right, now we are ready to clean up. So I'm going to go back and open up my viewer, and there's going to be liquid on the top surface here and on the viewing surface. So I'm going to just take that Kim wipe and soak up my liquid, making sure not to scratch the surface. And that's all I need to do for this, is just make sure all that liquid has been wiped up. I will close that lid and I'm done for the day with this. So I'm just going to put it back into the case and zip it up. All right, for this liquid here, you want to properly dispose of it. To wash your pipette, just wash your beaker, fill it up with some water, and then you can just suck up the water and squirt it out into the sink a few times, and that will help rinse out this pipette so that it's got water droplets in it and not whatever solution is that you were getting the specific gravity of.